Details are as follows. That is all. Yo.
Let's do this. Out of my way! End this! Out of my way! Right beside you. What are you looking at? Out of my way! Honest. You okay? Watch this! Out of my way!
Let me see. Pretty good, yeah? Hell yeah.
Watch this! End this! I got you. Right beside you. Honest. Out of my way! Get lost! Get lost! What are you looking for? I've got you. Honest. Watch this! Out of my way! Out of my way!
All right. How about this? Very good.
Right beside you. Pay his odds! This'll do it! I've got you. guard up. Watch this! This'll do it!
What are you looking at?
You okay?
It's over! That won't work. That won't work. Pay is ours!
Honest.
You ready? Watch this! Swear on my soul. On your side.
Honest.
This'll do it. I've got you. This'll do it. Mission complete. As expected.
How was it?
The sensitivity is excellent, and its resonance with the specimen is proving to be equally perfect.
But it's far from the maximized output we predicted.
Bingo. If an alchemist could draw out all that juice, I bet it'd blow the crap out of a light tank in just one hit.
Is something diverting its primary power source?
Or are the current synchronization levels insufficient?
Oh, hey. Thanks for the help, Anne. We're gonna crank up the heat on this monotech, so come by later to check it out.
This is a true story.
If I recall, both Jutland and Ruse held national funerals around the same time, after the Battle of Avalon. More accurately, they were memorial services, but Ophelia spoke of them as funerals to mourn those who fell in battle.
Historically, the fact that both sides claimed it was their victory was given much attention. Claudius declared that Balthus, who lost his life at the war's onset, had died honorably at the Battle of Avalon.
So he did manipulate the information. I thought it was odd when you said that Balthus died at the beginning of the war. Public records indicate that he was killed in action during the battle at Avalon.
The Emperor capitalized on his death and claimed that Balthus greatly contributed in establishing the current Ruse.
Comrades, weep not for Balthus Greppenberg. Be proud,
When the Jutes invaded our colony like a pack of rabid dogs, it was the Grand General who minimized our losses. We may have lost Avalon, but the damage dealt to those slavering curs was thanks to our dearly departed Balthus. In the face of invasion, we call this a victory.
His aim was to incite the people's hatred toward Jutland. Moreover, he commended Balthus's efforts against the enemy. By emphasizing that, he described Jutland's attack on Avalon as an invasion.
So it was during this time that the Ruse's side of the argument started using the word invasion.
It's the same as how Jutland highlighted liberation. Speaking of... The national funeral was held at Ophelia's suggestion. The fact they obtained victory in the past 3 operations. Her thoughts for the soldiers who gave their lives for the cause. She conveyed all in her requiem. Freed the traitor continued his column, directing the people's anger to the Empire, especially with the Valkyria. He wrote that its appearance signified the Empire felt threatened, and it increased the morale of the country.
I now understand that the Battle of Avalon held great meaning to both Jutland and the Empire. But from your account, Professor, there's something that didn't appear in any of the history books. The pendant that the Valkyria had. Why did it upset Amlet? And why were the traitors so surprised to hear of it?
It seems there are references to Valkyria throughout Europa's history.
How do you mean?
Records suggest that behind every king, lord, and noble house that's left their mark, there's been a Valkyria. Countless leaders have tried to unite Europa through force. All of them blessed by a Valkyria.
Blessed?
That's how some books describe it. Others use the word contract. Honestly, the legends are rather vague. Some say they eat human flesh. Others say you offer your life to them.
No way! We're the ones who are gonna take the Emperor's life.
Well, they're called legends for a reason. I need to do more research. Hopefully I'll find something that explains why the Valkyria had Miss Maria's pendant.
Yo, Am.
Am?
Just tell me how to kill it.
In the past, Amlet the traitor tried to assassinate Claudius for the sake of the pendant's owner. For the sake of rescuing their teacher, Maria Schmeickel. He came close enough to swing his blade upon the Emperor.
Claudius.
Death itself. A much more fitting epithet for you, Valkyria.
This is a Valkyria?
I'm alive?
The attempted assassination of the Emperor. That incident cemented a single thought among the traitors. To achieve their goal, they must overcome a powerful enemy of Valkyria. Ever since they swore to save Maria and avenge their family at the orphanage, each and every one of the traitors dedicated themselves in their respective fields. Amlet as a soldier, Solomon as a politician. Freet, at the time, still worked at a newspaper company. Basil created his foothold in the business world. Violet worked in espionage and began touring foreign countries as a secret agent. All of their actions were for the day they would have their revenge. All the things they learned and experienced would someday help realize their dreams. That's what they believed. Before long, the Valkyria appeared with the Imperial Army and was said to be the country's symbol of progress. Afterward, Jutland was blocked economically by the 4 major powers of the world, initiated by the Ruzi Empire.
The country gradually went bankrupt. Food was plentiful thanks to fertile lands, but Jutland depended on imports for fuel and resources. Once fuel became scarce, it began to affect agriculture. The government used rations to stabilize the life of the people, but even that had its limitations. The situation steadily grew worse each passing day. Rural areas were hit first in an outcry of hunger and poverty.
Around the same time, arguments pressing for war with the Empire grew due to the influence of the traitors. The Anti-Valkyria Squad was formed as part of that.
Amlet, who had a high compatibility with Ragnite, was selected as a member and was appointed its commander.
Years after the failed assassination, the traitors would meet on occasion to discuss their plans for revenge. When they assumed the battle with the Valkyria, it was evident it would be difficult with only 5 people.
That's the reason for the war? Just for revenge? The Anti-Valkyria Squad was created for that purpose?
They were conflicted about it as well.
I'm sure you realize it, everyone. No matter which of our fields we look from, this country is at its limits.
Not a day goes by the paper doesn't interview someone about how harsh it is. We don't even report on the half of it.
Money isn't circulating like it used to either.
Intelligence is analyzing what brought this situation about, but it seems the four major powers are involved somehow. They haven't determined a main objective yet, or why it happened, though.
More and more people are applying to join the army. It's one thing guaranteed to provide a regular meal.
So we have the manpower to fight.
I wouldn't call them battle-ready, though.
We must capitalize on this situation. I've been saying it all this time. Bring the country into this, start a war. There are no other means to take our revenge.
Putting aside how absurd that idea is, I don't think there's any way to morally justify starting a war.
You've been turning it down with that, but don't you feel anything about this country's wretched state? This economic blockade is unjust. If Jutland itself doesn't raise its voice, nothing will change.
I'm with Saul on this.
You really want to do this?
What other option do we have?
Well, we can work together like before.
Only reason that almost worked was because the Emperor actually left the capital. But he hasn't since. So what do you suggest? We just keep waiting and hoping? I'm done waiting. It's time to take our revenge. And free Jutland from economic oppression while we do.
Indeed. This, too, is for the country.
So you have no problem with sending countless innocents to their deaths? Wars cost lives. A lot of them.
The Emperor kidnapped our teacher and took the lives of our friends.
And you think that warrants the kind of damage war will do?
Loss of life is all the same. Whether it's our friends back at the orphanage or our countrymen in this war.
It isn't only us, Fried. The Emperor has invaded other countries and made them into colonies. How much blood do you think has been spilled? By slaying that tyrant, lives can be saved.
I don't know what's the best choice anymore.
Do you intend to continue waiting for the Emperor to come out? Do you intend to continue living with revenge in your heart? That's the same as being dead.
Part of us already died in that fire.
War sounds good to me. But so does the old wait and see.
Jeez. You're so neutral, Baz.
Fried, Violet, I'll say it once more. This is also for the country. Its recovery and our goals follow the same path.
Well, that may be true, but...
Violet, you're kind. However, if you've chosen to walk the path of vengeance, I'd like you to cast aside that emotion.
I can still hear their screams. Miss Maria, our friends.
Did you guys forget already?
What?
The coin, huh? I forgot that we had that.
Things were simpler back at the orphanage, weren't they? Any tough choice came down to the flip of a coin. Come on, has Lady Luck ever let us down?
I don't think so.
That's 'cause fortune favors the bold. Start a war, or wait and see.
Count me in.
Same here.
Me too.
Basil, flip it.
Heads, it's wartime. Tails, we wait.
Agreed.
All right.
Here goes nothing. Heads.
Wait, Professor. You're saying they flipped a coin to decide whether or not they should start a war? That's terrible no matter how you look at it. It's no wonder they were convicted. It's already bad enough they did it for revenge.
Please, don't misunderstand them. It gets hidden behind the intensity of the word revenge. But it is true they looked at Jutland's poverty and believed they must take a stand.
Yes, Jutland's state then can't compare to the prosperity it sees now. But this news is bewildering regardless. It's so hard to comprehend. How do I process all this? Tell me, Professor. What did they do afterward? How did they confront the Valkyria?